Modern Percussion Revolvers, Part 5, Cleaning.
I'm Hovey Smith. I'm probably best known as the author of Backyard Deer Hunting. I'm also the corresponding editor covering black powder for Gun Digest. And this is part 5 of a series on shooting, cleaning, and hunting with a modern percussion revolver. Now, we have shot these guns in previous episodes, and now we're down to cleaning them. If you're interested in percussion revolvers and are not interested in getting dirty, don't like things that smell bad, don't like to take things apart, well, then these may not be the guns for you. Because you have to clean these things each time you shoot them, even if you only fire one shot. Ordinary gun oils like this are not sufficient. You must strip the guns down and clean them with soap and water. And I'm going to move the camera up and we'll go through these briefly gun by gun and show you exactly how to do that. And this is a gun we'll start with, which is a CVA 44 caliber Confederate revolver, so-called. Well, the first thing we have to do is actually remove the barrel and the cylinder. So you notice this wedge here. There is a screw on the opposite side. That's the first thing to come out. All right. Goes in the water. Then this wedge is knocked through like yay. Pulled out. That goes in the water. Now the barrel will be removed, and it's easiest just to put it on half cock, rotate the cylinder, and then use the cylinder plunger to pull it off the cylinder pin like that, and that goes in the water. Now the cylinder is free. All right, and we need to remove the nipples. Okay, take them out one by one. Okay, now this goes down in soapy water. And that can just sit there and rest for a while. Now we have the remainder of the frame here. The Colt design is designed for functionality. It has this groove cut here to allow these spent primers some extra room to wiggle out. Also, it has grooves on the cylinder pin for lubricant. So these grooves need to be lubricated. All right, what do we do with the rest of it? Well, we take it apart. We got our screws. That one is particularly tough. Okay. And I'm fighting tension, spring tension all the way. Now we're getting it out. Okay. All right. So, we have the trigger guard, the spring. The rest of the action parts. You can disassemble and take these out and clean them individually, but I usually do not. I usually just drop the whole thing in the pan. There you go. Now we have the gun disassembled and soaking, and I'm going to wash it and dry it. Well, we have disassembled the gun and washed the parts. So we are going to dry it, oil it, and put it together. Now that's going to take a while. It's 7 o'clock and we have actually one gun cleaned now. So the CBA percussion revolver is ready to go. So that one's finished. There is one little touchy part about doing it. And so this is a very similar Traditions percussion revolver, the 1873 Peacemaker look-alike. I've already washed it, cleaned it, and oiled it, and so we're now getting down to the reassembly. This has a brass trigger guard and mainspring, just like the other revolver, and a one-piece grip, and they go together in exactly the same way. All right, so we have here, and we have here, and you put the frame on it, but you must make sure that the spring actually catches right under here. When you do, so you put the trigger in, come on spring, do your thing now. All right, that's in there. Yep. And this is the trick, to hold that down in there until you can get some screws in it to hold it together. All right, now we finally got one to catch. Okay. Screw number 2. Need a short one down here in the bottom. Go. Partially started anyway. Okay. You cinch down. Now, for this pair, now the spring tension is reduced, that makes it considerably easier. The bottom, hold the brass frame parts together. You want to make sure that you have these things started straight, or they will strip these this soft brass. There you go. All right. So we got that in there. Grips on. Action works. Okay. Making real progress now. So I'll go ahead and finish up the rest of this one right quick, and then we'll tackle another one. Well, last time we checked in, it was 7 p.m., and now it is 9 p.m. So we finally have revolver number 3 ready to go. Now, as this was a brand new gun, I did do a little bit of stoning on the sear and did grind a little away here on the hammer nose where it was abrading against the frame and smoothed it up a bit. So outside of that though, this was just a regular cleaning. It's the next morning and we've still got revolvers to clean. I've got 2 left, but we're running out of time on this video. So I just want to show you the differences. In the Ruger Old Army, you'll notice that this uses a coil spring here. And the way you remove it is to cock the hammer, then place a pin through this hole, relax the hammer, and then you can remove the spring. So that's how you handle that one. Now here, on North American Arms Little 22, this is such a delicate little gun that I really don't recommend doing much more with it than just removing and cleaning the cylinder and barrel. So you do that, you pull the pin like I showed you before, Okay. Then you remove the cylinder. You clean this part. You clean the cylinder. And then you brush here. You cock. And you brush everything you can see around here on the inside. Just dunk it all in the water. That's just fine. You won't hurt it. Sling it dry. And then you put it on a mild heat source to drive out all the moisture from the interior. If it gets really gummed up on the inside and you have to tear into it, you have to be very careful. This is delicate. You have one screw here and a very tiny pin. And so that will allow the internal parts to come out. And you'll also need to relax and remove the springs. And that requires a little skills, guys. So you don't tear into this one until you really, really have to. Well, that'll do it for now. The takeaways are, use fitted screwdrivers. If your screwdriver doesn't fit your slot, don't try to force it. Grind the screwdriver to fit. Use bore butter and gun oil and brass polish on your guns to clean them and keep them. And that way they will last for generations. As a rule, you want to clean your brass-framed guns first and then go to your all stainless guns last, because the brass will obviously corrode faster, and the longer it sits, the more difficult it will be to clean. At any rate, you want to clean these guns the day they had been shot, if at all possible, and certainly not let them sit for days and days dirty. Well, that's it for now. And if you really want to get into percussion guns, remember, these things get dirty and you got to clean them.
For more information on percussion revolvers, see the rest of this series, parts 1 through 7, Modern Percussion Revolvers. Now for my books, blogs, videos on muzzle loading, and to listen to my radio show, Hovey's Outdoor Adventures, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Now, I've had guests like Bill Booth and Larry Wyson, and we talk about all kinds of handgun hunting. Again, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com, and just click on the link below the banner. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors.